This is really my wall as of right now. As you probably see that my wall has no answer in English. I can actually, this is really from my past, SAT understanding, but it has nothing to do with, English words, so I can actually easily cut it off if you really don't mind. And take a glance at it. These are my wall, but there is no English word. I don't actually nurture English words. I don't really need to actually look into English dictionary. I can actually bring it really close to you in case you don't really see it. If you can actually read these, and read them. These are not English, but wahrscheinlich diese Botschafter, ja, diese was heißt das? Stichnotizen wirklich enthalten gar keine englische Botschaft. Ist das so? Unter anderem verschiedener? Ja, diese wird alle Ecke. Und ich habe meine Koffer wirklich geradeaus nach unten hinter der Kamera. That's a really crazy argument. I don't really need to repeat any of English messages, and I'm not even actually copying. Most of the times I really actually solve these questions inside the cafe, and I was not at all actually, reading anything from the notes. I don't really keep any note. That's a ridiculous assumption. I have never in my life taken any note from Vocabulary.com. Never. You can actually enter into my house to figure out that I don't really care about these kind of stupid notes. But I'm still really great. Those are really kind of wrongful assumption because I don't actually nurture or care about any kind of a notice. Because my brain capacity is good enough to actually memorize only at once. I don't really need to repeat any of them. That's a really ridiculous assumption. Let me actually solve, some of the GRE questions to see, how well I could have performed. And I have to actually study German, so I can only actually, solve some of them. But so I can actually give a certain sense, I don't really need to suffer from any type of memory loss. So let me actually show you my wall again. This is really the wall, and you're gonna actually see my head right, because I'm not going to, until I check the answer, I will never actually lift up my eyes. These are all German. If you can actually read it, you can actually read, alright? But one thing for sure, these are not English messages for sure. And I have a no notebook. That's really not true. Never in my entire life, I actually took note of anything from Vocabulary.com. Nothing in my room. Most of my books are actually written in German that had nothing to do with English. That's a really kind of stupid assumption, but I still can actually get my GRE question really quickly. That's a really stupid argument. I'm actually really strong with the GRE of sentence completion. I have already actually demonstrated that. And I will actually solve them really quickly, so there will be no way that I would actually spend extra time. But I need to actually get some paper. Oh yeah, clean paper, because those people are suspicious of my ability, so I have to actually demonstrate. Again, you're gonna see my wall. This is my wall. You need to actually see this. I have nothing. Yeah, these are really all the things that I can see in my... That's a really ridiculous argument. I have nothing. Huh, how stupid you are to assume that you can actually... If you can actually read German, do try it. But no, as far as I can actually show you that this is not English, right? And I have no answer containing all these messages about Vocabulary.com, because never in my life I waste a single drop of ink from Vocabulary.com. Everything is just a register in my brain. I don't really need to waste my, precious pages or inks to actually, at least memorize this kind of message. I'm really fine. I'm not lying. I'm actually really fine. Those type of conspiracy theories should actually also be defamed because they're fucking liars. They're really liars. Their lying tactics are really crazy. Eventually I will take the GRE and will actually prove myself. It's really fine. But I'm actually looking for the empty paper. No, I'm not lying. That's ridiculous. I don't really care, because I do know these words, because these words are really French and Latin and German that I learned. I'm not lying. I need to find a new paper, because I don't really have a paper. That's really the problem. Oh, where is the paper? I don't really have it. I'm not interested in interpretation, because the Korean is the weakest one that I don't know. But I can take the GRE. I have no time to actually see the 사전 찾지 않아요. 그런 더러운 짓 안 해요. 보여줄게. 내가 얼마나 잘 맞출 수 있는지. 여기서 한 번도 간적. 왜냐면 유튜브 본 거 티나요. 기록 보면 있어요. 유튜브 보면 그거 뭐지? 한 번 봤던 거 기록에 남아요. 안 본 것만 할게. 미안하지만은 이 정도 단어는 다 머리에 있어요. 절대로 까먹어서 그런 거 아니에요. 그냥 잘못 누른 거지. 한 번도 안 까먹었어요. 해보세요. 그리고 단어 뜻 다 줄 수 있어요. I can actually find. No. Yeah, do not pause, Let me actually do this. The accounts, even the best ancient writers, should not blank be without examination. Be careful comparison with other sources. 여기서는 하나만 고른 게 두 개 골라야 되는 repudiated가 돼. 근데 이건 문법이 틀렸잖아요. repudiate, B가 문법이 틀렸잖아요. 그러면 풀 수가 없네. repudiate이 돼야죠. You're actually writing a wrong sentence, and why would you? I'm not really bad with the sentence structures. Don't worry, you're gonna know it. My writing is really fine. I want to prove it. You know what? To actually prove that I'm actually very strong with the words, I want to actually solve this GRE. This is a graduate school level. This test is for graduate entrance exam. It's not really silly test for ESL students. It's really for real student who wanted to go to, higher educational institution. That's really it. That means it's a little bit serious. And not really that difficult, but at least it's a little bit serious. It's not really joke, at least. 그건 조크는 아니죠. 조크는 아니지. 어렵진 않지만은. 내가 풀어줄게. It was hard to offer anything new in the domain of self-help book, and his new book was the same. No time in leveling. 그러면 베이너이네요. 야, 이거는 근데 쉬운 거야. 미안한데 이딴 거는 그냥 너무나 쉬운 거 안 나와요. 베이너는 그냥 클리셰란 뜻이에요. It's really platitudinous. Platitude. Sounds bizarre. With a banal, that means a cliche or hackneyed. Platitude. Platitudinous, right? Hackneyed. 이렇게 돼. hackneyed. Yeah, that's just really. Let me actually use my boogie board. Boogie board. I kind of forgot that. I had my boogie board. Oh, where's my pen? I didn't really have my pen. Oh, because I have no place to write it down. 그럼 여기다 적자. 그러면 되겠다. 정답은 비인홀이고 이거는 너무 쉬워요. 그리고 내 머리 여기 있어요. 보여요. 절대 안 뺏겨요. 여기에 답 없어요. 독일어밖에 없어요. 봐보세요. You know what? Those assholes who are like conspiracy theorists, to me, they're more like Kwanyong, because my vocabulary is really strong. Never in my life I've actually cheated. Not everything was actually second repeated, and most of them are my original, because that's really the reason whenever I actually, literally unpack the GRE, verbal section, I really actually nailed most of the questions. Really, there is no time for me to actually, search the answer. Search it for the answer or search it for the dictionary definition. My understanding is really fine. My, sentence understanding structure is better than someone like Hinata. You will actually get to know it. It's really ridiculous. But I don't really actually appreciate this type of ESL level of a condensation, because there are many different ways to express someone's own meaning. But I do actually recognize immediately grammatical flaws. Oh, I don't want to solve this because this is a grammatical flaw. I can actually say that. It's really like this, in the word of ESL, advocate is only advocate for. This type of simple version is the only thing. Tell the truth, advocate in a similar sense, you can actually use it without proposition. That's something that I don't like. You need to grow out of it eventually. These are just define the term. I mean, idiomatic expressions are not all and be all. It's really the word that is really limited, microcosm. Eventually, you need to break out of that. That's really the reason I cannot go back to that. It's once the genie is out, it can never be back into the bottle. That's really the thingy. I'm not a genius, but the thing is, it's time to move on. I don't really want to go back because that's no. I mean, I don't see any point. There is no use for me to do so. I'm not genius. I'm not saying that. The person's on. No, it's really not true. Sentence equivalent. Yeah. 자, 그럼 이거 해볼게요. The demands of a blank, notwithstanding, a page of $2, a recent book on democracy that consider public choice economics that has to say something about democratic failure, at least a clear signpost to the literature would have been very well spent. Notwithstanding, notwithstanding the demands, despite the demands of blank, page of $2, a recent book on democracy. 여기선 bravity가 돼야겠네. Despite the brevity? Despite the brevity, demands for brevity, page or two has relatively well spent. 이런 내용이 돼야겠네요. What is the answer? Yeah, my answer is B because the last time when I checked that it was not there. 이거 안 보여서 그래요. 두 개 고르는 아까 처음에 장면에는 안 나왔어. 처음에 장면에서는 여기까지 cogency밖에 안 나왔지. 그래서 brevity가 정답인 거 적었잖아요. 정답이 안 나왔어 처음에. 얘는 얘가 끝까지 안 보이게 해요. brevity 맞았죠? 두 번씩 한 거 아니에요? 그리고 지금 벽에 보여줄게. Those people are really kind of crazy, you know. I do know, you know, there is a watcher out there who's been constantly roaming around or entering into my room. Those people can actually have a clear idea what I'm doing. I have no time to look up in the dictionary, and these are really the immediate, up-to-date status of my wall. You know, you can actually see my head down until I actually put down my answer. I will never actually have my eyes up. How about that? Huh, that easy.
Alright guys, welcome to another video. 8 different sections to tackle, right? You would always have, you cannot fall into it, whether it will end with him. So I would
I'm not lesser than other Americans. It's really not true. I already actually solved many questions that outside the home. Well, my reasoning is fine. Verbal reasoning is really fine. Just give me one answer. Verbal reasoning. 분명히 내가 잘했는데. 아, 어떻게 답 보여주지 마. 답 안 나왔지? 아, 이건 easy한 거래요. Although the politician vilified the cause and when he caught the nation's attention, she later became one of its foremost. 그럼 advocates 되겠네. 난 proponents. 이거는 근데 진짜로 쉬운 거예요. 이런 건 안 나와요. 내가 이걸 쓸 생각을 못했네. 종이 아깝다. 됐죠? 그리고 내 머리가 여기 있었으니까 난 아무것도 안 봤어. 이거 할 생각도 안 했어요. A slightly harder one. It has been observed that many inventors adopted a blank lifestyle, which allowed them to more wholly pursue their professional passions without distraction. 그러면은 여기서는 그러면은 여기서는 austere 가 aesthetic이 맞겠네요. 왜냐면 일에만 하는 거니까. I'm not really so sure such a English literature majors like Kimnara and Chun Soo-myung can easily solve these questions. That's something that I don't know. You know what? If you really have a doubt about it, this is my challenge video. It's a real ice bucket challenge. If you can actually, really crush me, beat the shit out of me, do try them. Are you actually sure you can actually handle this like me too? You know what? This is a really German message. It's not arrogance. I'm not lying. Why would you even assume that I've been actually taking a note from any vocabulary.com site? Because I never even actually pick up a pen, or I never even wasted. Most of the actual pictures were taken when I cut them. When I actually nail them, I actually take the picture. Otherwise, I had never done that. It's very obvious. Because they always said that I'm actually cheating. So you know what? I don't really even need to actually check the answer. 이게 정답이에요. 그래서 갈 필요도 없을 것 같아요. 확실해요. 내 knowledge. Auf Deutsch, das heißt das. Es hatte beobachtete werden bei vielen, dass eine viele besonders Entdecker, die eine Invention machen, adoptierten eine sehr eingeschränkte und ein bisschen engstündige Lebensstil, dass diesen Leuten erlaubten, so wirklich folgen ihr eigene professionelle Leidenschaft ohne Verzögerung, ohne Grenze und ohne Ablenkung. Es gibt gar keine Ablenkung oder Abschweifer, ja, mit großartiger Konzentration Kraft, ja, Vermögen. 그러면은 왜냐면은 내가 지금 뭘 본다 하니까 계속 벽을 보여주고 있는 거예요. 절대로 아무것도 없어요. 약간 그 상태예요. 계속 뭐 뿌옇다 그래. 뭐 아무것도 안 보여요. 그리고 픽처예요. 이렇게 빨리 문제를 푸는데 픽처 이거 처음 봐. You know what? You actually really have a doubt about my honesty? Please check out my YouTube web history. I have never played this video. Never in my life I have met this, Indian guy. Never. And never in my life had I ever had an encounter with this person. I'm not fucking lying. The only problem I'm having right now is that my camera is about to drop because I had to actually demonstrate many different angles. That's really the reason why the situation is a little bit out of control. But normally really fine. You want to see my back again? No, don't fucking try to do it. I'm really fast. It's really like image. No, I can hardly believe that even at this moment my image is really being tarnished. That's really fucking not true. 그건 말이 안 되지. 어떻게 지금 와서 내가 이미지가 아니라 해요. 잠깐만 기다리세요. 잠깐. 왜냐면 나 지금 다른 거 안 해. 비디오 터르지만 해. 당연히 한국어보다 훨씬 빨리 했지 영어를. 그러니까 GRE 안 보면 문제 이렇게 빨리 풀잖아. 그리고 색깔 이상한 게 없는데. I'm better than majority of people. I'm not lying. 됐죠? My eyes are perfectly fine. 여기 진짜 아무것도 없어요. German 읽을 수 있으면 읽어보세요. 영어 아니에요. 이거 상관없는 메시지예요. 상관없는 메시지인 거 맞지? 벽에 아무것도 없지? 벽에 뭐가 있다고 착각하는 사람들이 있었어요. 필요 없어요. 어차피 밖에 들고 나가서 할 거예요. 그리고 읽어보세요. 다 젊은이에요. 엄청 상관없는 언어예요. 정답 확인할 필요도 없고 그 다음 문제 그냥 바로 갈게. 어차피 다른 미국인도 다 쉬우니까 넘어갈게. 그럼 내가 얼마나 빨리 푸는지 보여줄게. The series is studying popular culture, but intellects are regularly credited with having rendered absolutely one dominant view. Popular culture is inherently fit to higher. That this alteration attitude, somewhat overstated. Maybe somewhat overstated, although it did not acknowledge. 이거는 그럼 펜션이라 해야겠다. investment요. 여기서 investment은 다른 뜻이 아니라 그거는 뜻이에요. Believing in, putting down their faith. That's what it means. I didn't actually invest in that. 난 테크놀로지 그렇게 못한 적 없거든. 그리고 뭐 보는 거 아니야. 벽에 보세요. 벽에 뭐야. 아무것도 없어. 우리 집에 아무것도 안 붙여놨어요. 독일어밖에 안 붙였어요. 영어랑 한국어는 집에 없어요. 지금 문제가 있어서 그래. 이 비디오에 문제가 있어. 설치한데 벽을 보고 있어. 아무것도 안 봐요. 머리 여기 있어요. 아무것도 안 봐요. 다 풀었잖아. 답을 풀어놓고 가는 건데. 짜증나네. 이거 왜 이래. 그 다음 문제 풀어볼게. 어차피 다 볼 필요도 없고. No, I'm not lying. 내가 얼마나 빨리 푸는지 보여줄게. 난 미국 애들한테 솔직히 안 져요. 여기 누르지만 않으면 안 져요. I'm not lying. I'm not louder than other people. It's very easy. Nothing. There is nothing in it. No, my vision is fine. No, let me actually show you. 내가 얼마나 잘하는지 보여줄게, CRE. Sentence structure 진짜 잘해요. I have no problem with the sentence structure at all. I got most of them really correct. I just actually got the last one correct too. You know what? In case you actually wonder, there is a dictionary. There is no dictionary in English. Everything is in German in this room. There is, within the almost like a 300 meters within my hand's reach, there is no book in English. Everything is German. So it contains no English word, and I think that, the message would be copied from it. Look at this. If you can actually read it, if you can read it, do read it. What is it? Do read it. It's really actually German. It has nothing to do with English. Everything is really clear. If you can actually read this text, do read them. I don't mind. Let me actually quickly solve, challenging questions. It's really fine. My understanding is really fine, and I can solve it really quickly. No, Abstimmung nicht. 난 진짜 빨리 풀어요. My color is really fine. I have no problem. 진짜 잘 풀어요. 다른 사람보다 잘 푸는데.
But there'll be 5. But can you identify the adjective or adverb for in this particular sentence?
보게 해줘. 보게도 안 하면서. 왜 이렇게 안 보여? In this particular, how can we actually see this? Then we can never solve it. Retrofitted with a special lighting device system of a blank. It's aesthetics. The bridge has reopened a longer, prone to excessive swaying, but not quite the breathtaking structure it originally was. 그럼 여기서는 impair이나 이런 말이 나와야겠다, 그치? Compromise. compromise. I'm not B. I can actually prove that I'm actually A. You know how quickly I can actually solve it. Watch this. You know, my head is here. You can actually see my hair, you know, hair flakes. Or I'm not actually looking until I actually put down my answer. I will never actually get my eyes up. Retrofitted with the stabilizing devices, some of which, you know, truly impair and compromise its aesthetic. The breech has been reopened, no longer prone to excessive swaying, but not quite the breathtaking structure it was original was. I'm 100% certain. Let's check the answer. I'm not 해요. 절대 1이 아니에요. 너 진짜 sentence structure 절대 1이 아니에요. 똑바로 풀면 돼.
Inshallah, in the next tutorial, we shall see yet another question. Assalamu alaikum.
Where is the answer? 뭐야, 왜 이래? answer 없어. 어쨌든 난 정답이 맞으니까 내가 이거 찍어서 낼게. 난 정답이 확실해요. 아니요, 나 찍을 거예요. 어디 갔어? 안 계세요. 지금 봤잖아. 원래 본 적 없었어요. 지금 봤어요. 그리고 답이 없네. 답이 없잖아, 그지? 나 사진 찍어서 올릴 거예요. No. It has no answer in it. No, that's not true.
I thought it would be useful for you guys.
No, I thought it was useful for you guys. I thought ich bedachte mich, dass dieser sehr nützlich würde für Sie. 자, 여기 정답. 당연히 그림처럼 보죠. 이렇게 빨리 이걸 푸는데 정답이 없어요. 난 이거라고 생각해요. 여기 정답이 안 나와요. 지금 다 봤는데 없어요. 처음 봐요. You know what? Why would you not actually, you know, have a faith in digital forensics? You know, it's not really something that I tried again. That's a fucking lie. You know what? If you really lie in that way, I'm going to sue you for actually defaming my reputation because I'm going to eventually take the test. You know, my vocabulary is really strong. That's really the reason I never wanted to press it. You know, after many hours, I had a tendency to misclick something, or the actual gadget would be exhausted, so they would never actually digest something. My cell phone would be too much, you know, heated up, so you would actually be mistaken, or a certain type of accident can happen, but this would all be counted as my misunderstanding, so I don't like that shit. So I decided to use this. You know, let's try to go back to, you know, somewhat in a rally kind of boogie board. That's the event that is going to rescue me, because I know the answer really well. It's really easy. 이거 해보자. 뭐 한 번도 본 적 없어요.
Introductory lesson on sentencing. To complete the sentence, that the meaning of the sentence as a whole.
Yeah, the conversation between two men was very blank because it was too cold for them to linger in a terse and brief. 이건 근데 너무 쉬운 거예요. 정답 볼 필요도 없고 이건 정답이에요. 정답 볼 필요도 없고 정답이에요. 됐죠? 그리고 이러면서 빨리 하는데 답을 어떻게 보니? 사전 어떻게 보니? 이건 벌써 했어요. 벌써 했어요.
Talkative. Does that mean you're anxious? Kind of talkative right now. Opposite.
그냥 어떻게 하는지 알겠어요.
So I think, okay. What a job.
Super hard cherry words.
Hello, this is Chris.
그래, 그럼 내가 먼저 답, 얘가 그럼 말하기 전에 먼저 definition 줄게. 나 이거 한 번도 안 봤어요. Tergiversy. It's similar to prevaricate. Prevaricate. Tergiversy is a very common word in French. That means you actually, you know what, you willfully present a deceitful message. 이건 프랑스어에서 굉장히 흔한 단어예요. 프랑스 사람한테 물어보세요. Deceitful message. tergiverse 많이 써요. 영어에서는 어려운 단어예요. 근데 프랑스어에서는 아주 쉬운 단어예요. prevaricate이랑 거의 비슷해요. 일부러 말을 길게 하거나 아니면은 조금 지저분하게 말해서 거짓말하는 약간 casuistry랑 비슷한 거예요. casuistry 아니면 sophistry랑 약간 비슷해요. tergiverse is really like durch einen Umschweifer Sie intendieren vorzuführen. Sie intendieren vorzuführen andere Leute. Das ist nicht eine ganz großartige betrügerische Botschaft, aber jedoch diese wird einwischen, bemäntelte Botschaft um zu hüllen etwas Wesentliches. 약간 거짓말을 조금 하는 거야. 말 길게 하거나. 그때 예전에 내가 그거 봤을 때 나왔잖아. You know, last time you remember that when David Perdue, he was still Georgia senator when he was having first in a debate against the then Democratic Senator John Ossoff. He used this word prevaricate. Yeah, John Ossoff, Mr. Ossoff, you're trying to prevaricate. This is not really the immediate answer that I expected to hear. Please, like this, I really remember he actually used this one. David Perdue. Yeah, I know what that means.
Very different definitions. Hopefully, you can remember both. Next up.
Vitiate is. Vitiate means, number one, literally, make something really bad. Make something bad. By tarnishing the reputation. Tarnishing a reputation of someone. Reputation or even taking legal power, legal validity away from them. He vitiated my reputation in the industry. 이런 식으로 써요. vitiate. 찾아볼까? I have no doubt about it. 근데 두 번째도 조금 모르는 사람 있어요. Legal power. It just actually annihilate the legal power. So it no longer actually has any legal validity. 그럴 때 있어요. 그거는 잘 안 쓰는 거예요. 첫 번째 뜻은 많이 써요. 그럼 어차피 안 뺏겨요. 제 거면 뺏긴다 하니까 우리 집에 그런 거 안 붙여요. 그리고 그렇게 빨리 적어놓은 걸 찾을 수가 없어요. 집에 정신이 좀 없게 돼 있어. 어차피 시험 칠 건데. Yeah, make faulty, defective, impair. 그렇지? 그 다음에 to make ineffective. 그렇지? legal power 가져가서 validity를 없애버린다. 그렇지? fraud, vitiate contract. 이거는 내가 vocabulary.com에서 배웠어요. Second meaning. The secondary, not really secondary, but the second meaning. Not secondary means sometimes it would be auxiliary, but second meaning that is common in the legal or something that I actually learned quite late from vocabulary.com. Taking legal power away from them by actually nullifying the legal legitimacy or validity. 이거는 내가 나중에 배웠어요. 근데 원래는 이건 알고 있었어요. 아주 나쁘게 만들거나 아주 명예 같은 거 더럽게 하거나 이런 건 알고 있었어. 그거는 신문에 많이 나와요. 근데 이게 GRE가 어려운 단어라니 좀 이상하네.
It doesn't sound good, and good news, it's not good. So easier to remember that way. It means to impair. Jay and I drink is
impecunious. No money. Pecun means money. So im is always bad. So impecunious. One thing I was greatly mistaken before the vocabulary.com was a pecuniary. Pecuniary, it's really about financial situation. Financial or fiscal or monetary. It does not necessarily mean it has no money. Impecunious means no money. Impecunious means having no money, but you have to actually make a distinction. Frugality. Frugality is really making economy. You've been actually saving. You've been tightening up your belt. Ja. Das ist Gürtel enger schnallen. Gürtel enger schnallen. Ja. Aber jedoch impecunious, in this way, literally penniless, filthy poor. We don't really say filthy poor. Filthy rich is really the opposite. Dirt to poor. Dirt to poor. It's really 진짜 돈 없어요. 그리고 얘는 frugality 반대는 stingy. 반대 아니지. 상관인데 좀 달라. 누앙스. stingy. cheapskate. 진짜 scrooge. cheapskate. 그 다음에 그거 뭐라 하니? cheese cutter. cheese spear. 치즈도 아낀 cheese spear. cheese pear. 아니면은 penny pincher. penny pincher. 동전도 다 세는 사람. 돈 진짜 없어. misère. 진짜 돈 없어. 스크루지. 이브니 스크루지. 그 다음요. 아, insidious. 이거는 또 프랑스 사람한테 엄청 흔한 단어예요. 이거는 그냥 emergency, accident라고 생각하면 돼요. 이거는 뭐가 없어. Something is acutely lacking. acutely lacking이에요. 뭐가 아주 없어. emergency를 생각하면 돼요. emergency, exigu. No. I don't. The pitfall is I don't really know how to pronounce them in English because most of them I learned in French, so I don't really know how to say them in English. How do you say that? exigu. How did you pronounce it? 나 몰라요.
Could that even possibly mean like exiguous? I exited. I'm not here.
Exiguous. Okay, this is my first time to learn it. Exigu, that's a French. It means that acutely, something is acutely, seriously lacking. It's really, it's a very acute paucity and a dearth. 이거는 그냥 deficiency보다 너무 심한 거야. This is a really, much harsher condition than just a regular deficiency. Acute. Painfully, something is missing right now. To the degree of being emergent. 진짜 너무 급하게 없는 거예요. 급한 상황이. Percipient. Percipient means literally keen. And similar to perspicacious. Literally sharp insight. 그런 뜻으로 알고 있는데 한번 확인해볼까? 여기서 말해보세요.
Watch carefully everything. That is all that percipient actually means. So that one's easy to file away. Looks like what it means, but not that common of a word. So if you do see a test day though, you can say, yeah, I can do one of those obscure words. The next word is
captious. Hypercritical. Hypercritical means extremely obsessed. Being extremely obsessed with the fault finding. It's really easy. 이건 어려운데 그거 아까 percipient 내가 한 거 맞나요?
Percipient. Now this is one of those words where you can kind of guess the meaning. It means perceptive, someone who is a shrewd or astute observer. They're really careful and watch carefully everything. That is all that percipient actually means. So that one's easy to file away. Looks like we'll really nip. However, hey, I can't let you go away without giving you something for free. I'm talking about the GRE vocabulary ebook, which is going to really help you on the GRE verbal section.
ebook 그게 있구나. Difficult words, there aren't that difficult.
Hello, this is Chris.
그래, 그건 진짜 안 어려웠잖아. 이거는 쉽죠. Very similitude. It's like likely apparency. It has a two meaning. In a good sense, it's a similarity. Second meaning, just hawks, illusion. Because of appearance, it would be luring, tempting. 근데 이렇게 말하는 건 너무 쉬우니까 그냥 문제를 풀어보자. 나 한 번도 본 적은 없어요. No, I'm not 80. 진짜 80 아니에요. 지금 푼 거 정말로 거의 다 맞았어요. 그런 거는 모르는데 이거는 이거 했잖아. 근데 왜 여기는 다 쉬운 문제가 돼 있지? 이상하네. Diagnostic report인데. Yeah, diagnostic, just do it. I'm really great. I'm not 80. I have never been 80. As long as I really actually have a little bit of a mindset like test taker, then I would never be 80. 시간 나와 있어요. 너무 빨리 썼어요. 원래 조금 어려운 문제는 미국에도 시간 써요. 모든 미국에도 시간 써요. 조금 어려운 거 한 30초 이상 써요. 모든 미국 애들이. 난 진짜 천재 아니고요. My smelling is really fine. Because at that time, I've been constantly getting 100. I thought that it was a really easy one. A little bit too reckless. But ever since I actually redacted my behavior, I've been actually getting most of them. I'm not lying. 여기서 찾아보자. 그럼 마고시 이북 있다 했잖아. 그럼 나 마고시 이북 어디서 사야 돼? 야, 이거 살 수 있어? 프린트북밖에 없다. 이북 있다던데? Oh, what happened? He said it had ebook. What's so bizarre? No, I never tried it again. 다시 한 적 없어요. How can I buy this ebook? 여기서 퀴즈가 있나? 퀴즈를 지금 풀어보자. Oh, proposition, I'm fine. But is there any quiz? 퀴즈는 없나요? practice question 있다. 나 진짜 안 풀어봤어. 이거 오늘 처음 방금 말구 씨가 말해서 하는 거예요. 한번 해볼게요. 어떻게 가지 이거? 가려면 몇 쪽이야? 한 모르겠는데 한 마지막 페이지 같은데 가볼까? 그리고 문제 푸는 속도 보세요. 그림인지 아닌지. 그래요. 다른 미국에도 이만큼 써요. No, I'm not a dad. No one would say that. No one. As long as I actually spent a little bit of time. 그 진짜 그림인지 아닌지 보면 되잖아, 지금. Question. 어디 갔어, question? No, New York, no. I can actually read it really well. I don't really have any difficulty. Practice quiz. Okay. 아씨, 여기 정답이 나와있다. 하나밖에 없네. 여기네. 답이 안 봤어, 이거는. The movie is comprised of several vignettes, each presenting a character along with her foil. A state accountant shares an apartment with 알겠다. Eminent. Really? No. Colorful. Very colorful 한 사람이 되겠지. 왜냐면은 colorful 여기서 checkered 있거든요. 정말 답 안 봤어요. 정말 보지 못했어요. 이거는 답을 봐서 포기했어요. 답을 봐버렸다. 이거는 답이 3개가 있어서 보지를 못했어요. Tight-lipped. 조용한 사람이니까 반대가 되니까 garrulous. 아주 떠드는 사람 돼야겠지. 그 다음에 perhaps the most unconvincing introverted mathematician, gregarious, socially very, very sociable person. Sociable, colorful, garrulous, gregarious. 확실해요. No, I'm not lying. I'm not 81. That's really not true. You know, sometimes people actually being really harsh to me. If I take a little bit of time, sometimes my reckless cause a lot of a problem to me either. 저 맞지? Colorful, garrulous, gregarious. I got it, right? 정말이에요. 억울해요. No, I'm not 80. That's really fucking not true. My vocabulary in English is really better than majority of Americans. I can guarantee that. Let me actually solve some of the questions. 그럼 풀면 되잖아요. 정말 여기 나오는 단어 다 알았어요. 내가 풀어볼게. 진짜 남들보다 훨씬 더 audiobook, no. My vocabulary, I can actually read a New Yorker. It's true. My vocabulary is capacious enough to actually read a vocabulary. I'm not lying. I mean, there's such a sophisticated magazine like New Yorker. It's true. I'm not lying. I'm not really kind of a gadget reader. Let me demonstrate. I know all these words. I mean, when Magus said it's pretty tough, but I know it's right there. I have never seen them. My YouTube video records can clearly prove that I have never visited the video, but I do know that it was my first time. Just click it. Oh, you said super hard. Oh, that just actually got my attention because those are really common words in French. Because if you ever learn French, these words are actually intermediary level words, not really advanced words. There's a really temperature difference. I'm not lying. Oh, right now my vocabulary is really fine. 진짜 vocabulary 진짜 잘해요. 이거 뭔데? No, I never tried it again. 2번씩 외운 적 없는데. Most of them are really, I actually learn it really quickly. 그러면은 진짜 hardest 안 되잖아. 아, 진짜 한 번만 해보자. 지금 기분이니까 sentence completion questions. 지금 바로 하면 되잖아. 지금 찾는 거예요. Hard sentence completion questions. 제일 마지막에 가봐. Does it look copyright? No. Millennium Copyright Act? No. Lazy Person's Guide? No, I'm actually not lazy. That's a ridiculous idea. No. Not really TOEFL. My understanding is super fine. I don't really... No, TOEFL, no, it's really not true. My English is really fine. Have you ever actually not known that? You know what, think about it. How would I ever actually understand Laura Jarrett's, unexpected explanation of coronavirus? It was a coronavirus report. It's a fairly complicated if you do not actually read. And there was no chance you'd actually understand this type of complicated structures. Because reading and understanding the messages or knowing these words always actually, go in tandem. This is really true. No, it's really not true. No, I'm not Korean. 빨리 풀어볼게. 얼마나 그림인지 봐봐. 되게 황당해요. 되게 쉬워요. To me, it's really easy. Just like the rest of Americans. 천천히 내 답이 나올까봐. 여기까지만. Frustrated that the GRE question was actually so easy. Faye blank her book out the window. Tossed가 되겠네. 여기는 defenestrated가 돼야 되니까. Tossed her book out of the window with such ferocity. 너무 세게 던졌어요. No, not really toast. No, I didn't really see the answer. 답 안 봤어요. 일단 ferocity가 돼야 되고 헐 할까? 세게 바깥으로 던지는 아주 세게 던지면 헐이 되는 게 나은데. 토스는 가볍게 탁 던지는 건데. flung이나 헐이 낫겠다. 토스는 약간 살짝 던지는 거야. 헐은 아주 세게 공 같은 거 탁 던지는 거거든. 헐이 되는 게 낫겠는데. defenestrate 창문 바깥으로 탁 던져버려. 헐이 낫잖아. 토스는 가볍게 던지는 거야. 근데 ferocity definitely certain 있잖아. toss seems really too light. 토스는 잠깐 가볍게 하는 거. 아주 세게 던져. 그냥 out of with such a ferocity니까 her out. her into. flung into. fling into. 근데 out이랑 toss가 더 어울리긴 한데. toss out her out of the window. out the window. her 그것도 좀 이상한데. 피치는 이제 무조건 아니. 세게 던지는 건 헐이랑 토스는 가벼운데. 그냥 헐이라고 할 것 같아요. 세게 던지려면 무조건 헐이 가야 될 것 같아. 그렇지? 왜냐면 헐은 진짜 세게 던지는 거야. 차이를 알아요. 토스는 약간 have you played a beach volleyball? It's really like tossing. Rather slightly. But it's really careless. The importance of a toss is a carelessness. 이건 나 한 번도 안 해봤어요. 그걸 다 본 적 없어요. 첫 번째 문제 아까 잠깐 이렇게 나왔는데 keyword here is frustrated 이거 나왔지? 다른 거 안 나왔어요. 정말 밑에 간 적 없어요. 토스 그거 끄니까. 그리고 toss는 carelessly 진짜 가볍게 탁 던지는 가볍게 이렇게 하는 거야. hurl은 아주 세게 던지는 거야. hurl은 fling 거의 vault. 아주 세게. 그러니까 이거는 얘가 I can actually say that I can paraphrase it. You know what Faye was, so fucking angry and really actually, downtrodden and full of disappointment and frustration with the GRE question, which was really easy. So, she literally defenestrated her book with all her power, very aggressively. Ferocity is all her power. It's easy one. I think, this question is easy. Her is literally throw something with all your heart. But toss lightly. But important is careless. 생각 없이 던지는 거야. 에이! 이렇게 해요. 또 해보자. 재밌다. 진짜 처음 풀어봐. 이런 것도 있었나? 나 이런 거 아는데. Yeah, ephemeral, fleeting, passing. No, evanescent. How many can you do it? Evanescent, fugacious, morning dew. 이슬 같은 거지. 그런 적 없어요. 미안한데. 착각하지 마세요. 이거는 내가 SAT 칠 때 2008년부터 다 있었어요. 그리고 embroglio. 이거 뭐 같은 뜻 더 말해줄까? embroilment. 여기 entanglement 있네. embroilment 아니면은 약간 similar to quagmire. 약간 similar 하지. 그 다음에 abscond. abscond는 이거는 decamp란 뜻이에요. decamp는 elope away. 그냥 어디서 도망가는 거예요. take off, run away, or 그럼 아니면은 그런 수거 같은 거 쓰면은 take a powder. 뒤도 안 보고 도망가는 거예요. 아니면은 take a moonlight fleet. 밤에 도망가는 거예요. 야밤에 가는 거예요. moonlight fleet. 짐 싸서 가버리는 거예요. 갑자기 빨리 팍 가버리는 거예요. 또 문제 없나? 이거 좀 어려운 거. 그냥 조금만 풀면 잘 풀 수 있어요. 근데 왜 방금 문제가 없고 이거다. 이거는 안 했어. Although she usually was of blank nature, Patty was a blank when the professor assigned a paper due the day after spring break. Then she must be very much frustrated. 왜냐면은 방학 때 못 놀잖아요. cheerful 한 다음에 그러면 lugubrious. 원래는 기분이 상당히 좋은 사람이에요. 반대되는 걸 고르네 여기는. She was really kind of lugubrious is literally cheerless. 잘못 눌렀어요. 좀 적게 해주세요. 사람이 풀다 보면 잘못 누를 수도 있어요. Why can't they fucking actually not allow anybody to misclick something, or even the gadget could go wrong, or even I didn't consider every option, but I just misclick it, but I can still read this fast. Have you ever actually measured the amount of time, how quickly have I actually read? I really don't understand. People can never actually, take into account. When I actually made a mistake, from the varsity, how quickly have I actually solved them? That's a problem. After initially, 3 successful sessions, I was too elated. I was gloating over my success. So the rest of the questions would be easy. I kind of actually downplayed the sophisticated challenges next. I didn't really realize that. Now I've been actually a little bit cautious. Then I can solve it really fast. I haven't seen them. If I ever actually, drop by this, a dummies GRE website, and I would actually get my pinky cut off. You can actually have me amputated. You can actually, make me an amputee with my arm chopped off. I really can actually, get my life on it. It's a really easy one, right? 이거는 너무 쉬우니까 자랑할 건 없고. 왜냐면은 she was usually very cheerful. cheerful 똑같은 뜻 뭐지? cheerful means, let's just say, amiable. Like, upbeat. amicable. good-natured. 좋은 무드예요. 기분이 좋은 거예요. 근데 원래 기분 좋은데 지금 슬퍼. 그러면 cheer 없어야 돼. cheerless. 그러니까 mournful. 이름만 나와야 되니까 lugubrious. 그러면은 요거 enigmatic이라는 거 어려운 단어라고 생각하니까 말해줄게. enigmatic 똑같은 뜻은 mysterious예요. 독일어로 하면 hetzelhafter예요. hetzelhafter. 그런 뜻이에요. 그 다음에 abelian, 아까도 말했지만 abelian은 첫 번째 뜻은 spritey. spritey. 굉장히 에너제틱한 사람이에요. 근데 두 번째 뜻은 full of bubbles. 진짜로 CO2 버블도 돼요. 근데 bubbly가 lively 하다는 뜻이에요. bubbly. Oh, she's so bubbly. That means she's energetic, not full of bubbles in a bullshitty way. We need to actually crush the bubbles, Stockholm bubbles. No, when person is bubbly, she's ebullient, she's a spritey, or she's even actually, yeah, really quick-witted. Well, not really quick-witted, but you know, just full of zesty spirits. It's really easy. 정답은 당연히 cheerful과 enigmatic이 아니라 lugubrious니까 정답을 골라야겠죠. 뭐야? 정답이 여기 나와있네. 뭐야? 씨, 뭐야? 다른 거? 이건 다른 거네. 이거는 다른 거래요. 다행이다. 다행이다. 분명히 설명했다, 그지? 다른 문제네요. 이거는 없던데, 이 문제는. 이거 다른 문제래요. 깜짝이야. Previous office are fine. reading format에서 가르쳐주는. No, I'm not lying. 지금 내가 얼마나 빨리 풀어볼 수 있는지 해볼게. 2번 한 거 아니에요. 진짜 보여줄게. 그럼 GRE 포럼 가볼게. 억울해요. 진짜 2번 안 했어요. 새로 올라왔다. December's earthquake was but a blank, a terrible year for a small island recently racked by civil strife, despair. Nothing but a 코라. 그럼 여기서 끝에 더해지는 거니까 코라가 되겠네. 아주 피날레가 더러워요. 이런 거예요. December's earthquake was nothing. It was but a coda to a terrible year. Recently wrecked by strife. 일단 prologue 절대 말이 안 되잖아. 그럼 catharsis 절대 안 되지. homily 절대 말이 안 되지. rampage 말도 안 되지. 코라네요. 코라가 정답입니다. 그리고 하나 설명하고 얘기할게요. Prologue means something that just like, you know, normally it's something that's the opposite of epilogue. That means it's a prelude. Prelude. It's a really something portentously beginning. Portentous beginning. No, I'm not lying. I'm not lesser than other American. Catharsis. Emotional cleansing. Emotional cleansing. Outburst. It's not really short lasting. That's really not true. Coda is normally it's similar to epilogue, but especially in the opera. But this is really figurative speech. Oh, you know what? That was, you know, a double. That was something that I would never wanted to have. Oh, no. Like, normally people actually say this very often. Oh, this event is really like prelude to what would come. Prelude at the very beginning. But coda is really the opposite. This is really at the end of the opera. So, you know what? It's really only a coda to a terrible year. Already, actually, this small island country was, you know what, terribly damaged by civil strikes and civil disruption and the tropical storms that had enormously, you know what, destructive power to put the entire region into rubbles, right? So rampage is a violation. Rampage is a violation. But this has nothing to do with Decembers Erdebeaver war nicht mehr als einer Epiloge. Coda. So diese dieses sehr schlechte Jahr für diese kleine Inselnationen letztlich vollständig destruierte bei Zivilunruhe und ganz gigantische verhängnisvoll Wetterlage. Ja, diese wieder ein Orkan. Sehr, sehr verhängnisvoll, katastrophal. Katastrophe. Ja? Ja, Sturm ist wie eine Strom oder Unwetter. Ganz verhängnisvoll und desaströse tropikalische Regenwälder, tropikalische 야, Sturm. 그러니까 코다가 되겠죠. 코다. 됐죠? 이거는 비유예요. 꼭 오페라 아니어도 그냥 이렇게 자유롭게 풀면 할 수 있어. 이 문제 오늘 올라온 거예요. 내가 본 적도 없어. 지금 올라온 시간 확인해볼까? 내가 지금 오늘 어디 갔다 왔거든? 어디 갔다 와서 본 적 없어. 그렇게 비유를 모르잖아요. It's really common. If you ever actually watch Rachel Maddow or something, it's a coda to something. You know what? That has to be added. That's really the reason why we say the codicil. What does a codicil mean? Codicil, you know, in Latin, coda means, you know, the last. So, you know, especially this is an appendage. Appendage added to the last. Added to the last, especially by a lawyer for amending legal testaments or will 그런 거 고칠 때 이거 adding 하는 게 codicil clause예요. 오늘 올렸잖아. 그래놓고 나보고 뺏겼대. The blank of the dissociative disorder sections and commonly used in general psychiatric screening instruments had led to the blank of the dissociative disorder in larger scale epidemiological studies for many decades. Although studies using specific instruments have begun to correct the slight inclusion of the testing for dissociative disorder in future general psychiatric screening studies, a blank for prevention of false negative diagnosis in the future will facilitate their different life. 그럼 일단 아무것도 채우고 가야 된다. 시간 낭비되니까. Birth of dissociative disorders, I think, probably a general psychiatric screening instrument had led to omission. The inclusion of testing for dissociative disorder in future general psychiatric screening studies. No, it's not debatable. I will get it. I will never actually screen it. 지금 올라오는 건 다 맞으면 되지? No, is my recording has been off? No. Incongruous, no? Still 그럼 debatable 되겠다. 잠깐만. 이거 정확하게 정답을 그거 해놓고 가자. 저장해놓고 가자. Blank of dissociative common usual science has led to blank of dissociative large scale. Many decades. 일단은 없었기 때문에 omission 있었다, 그지? 많이 안 하고 갔다. Although studies using instrument have begun to correct the inclusion of the test in the future, general psychiatric screening study is a blank. Although the studies using specific have begun to correcting 하긴 하지만 왜냐면 그러면 debatable 해야 되겠네. 근데 이 문장은 어디서 나온 거지? 일단은 이렇게 이 문장이 뭐야? will로 잘랐어. 근데 여기 또 뒤에 문장을 봐봐. 잠깐만. 근데 문제는 이 문장 뒤에가 마음에 안 드는데 will이 어디서 나온 거야? 얘가 문장 구조 이상한데. Although studies in using specified instrument have begun to correct this lack. The inclusion of testing for the system in future sensitive study is applying for prevention false diagnosis in the future. And they will facilitate better diagnosis and will also help together detail them. 그러면 debatable 할 게 없는데? 그럼 뭐가 fundamental 이렇게 되네? 그럼 debatable 하기가 will also help gather detailed information. 근데 여기서 뒤에 문장이 will facilitate 그러면 fundamental 해야지 debatable 하기는 그렇다 그지? 이렇게 돼야겠네. 다시 한번 확인할게요. 이거 좀 짜증나지만은 도르스 맞고 오미션 맞고 fundamental이네. 왜냐면 이 문장을 봐봐. blank of the false diagnosis blank will the inclusion of the blank will facilitate better and will also help to gather detailed information. Although studies using have begun to correct. 이 문제가 있긴 해도 그래도 무조건 포함을 시켜야 되는 거야. 그지? 무조건 H다. 그지? AFH요. 무조건 fundamental이야. 이거는 절대로 debatable이 아니에요. 확실히 정했어요. fundamental. AFH. 됐죠? 맞았죠? 오, 살았네. Carpetbaggers 알지? Those people who've been actually moving away to gain political power. After the US little carpet were so called because they carry suitcases made in expensive carpeting material, hoping to turn a quick profit. 근데 끝까지 어디까지 봐야 돼? 빨리 돈 벌려고 많이 왔다고 해야 돼. 2년 내일에 하는 게 낫겠다. flooded란 뜻이 돼야겠지. 왜냐면 일단은 다른 게 말이 안 돼. 얘에서 왔지. 남부에 와서 돈 벌려 하는 거지. A carpetbagger is somebody who's been moving away, so-called like suitcase, hoping to turn a quick profit, quick money. 돈 빨리 벌려고. And technically they're about political power, political influence. Those are people who really wanted to get political influence. Those are called a carpetbagger. Paraded는 angry란 뜻이니까 여기서는 말이 안 되고 boycotted means decide not to buy it. 근데 이거는 약간 censorship이랑 가까운 거고. Blacklist also does actually exclude them. Exclude someone by marking out. marking out, you know, as a marked domain, marking them out. 그것도 아니지. You're hoping to turn a quick profit 있잖아. 돈 벌려고 많이 왔으니까 flooded란 뜻이 돼야 돼. 그렇게 모르지 않아요? 오늘 올린 거잖아, 그치? vanquish, disappeared. vanquish는 conquered란 뜻이야, conquer. 그럼 말이 안 되잖아, vanquish는. inundate란 뜻이지. Yeah, that's it. Das meinte nach den US-Einbürgerkriege, Kapetbürger, sozusagen, diese Leute, die eine günstige Angelegenheit in Politik oder in Wirtschaft ja, gesucht haben, wirklich überschwemmte Amerikas Süder mit einer großartigen Hoffnung zu machen, eine schneller Geld. Ja, diese würde eine Wahnsinn. Ja, wirklich. So Gewinnsuchtige. Diese Leute sind ein bisschen Gewinnsuchtige auf Deutsch, oder? Und sie heißen Kapetbürger wegen dieser ganze, ja, ein bisschen schmal und kitziger Material genutzt zu kriegen, diese Kapeter. Okay? Weil wirklich, diese Leute haben getragen Koffer, ihr eigener Koffer, hergestellt aus sehr schmaler und minderwertig, geringfügiger Kapetmaterial. Ja, diese wird Kapetfabrik. Ja, diese Koffer sind sehr, sehr minderwertig. Yeah. Oh, what is it really difficult? It means flooded. Flooded means, you know, something is really, really overwhelmingly many. Don't say that I have actually seen this before. 이거 오늘 올렸잖아요. Please, would you actually, let me actually check the time. 언제 올렸어요? 없었어. 원래 없었어요. 거짓말 안 치고. 거짓말하지 마세요. 내가 어제 들었을 때도 없었는데 여기 안 떴어. 이거 3개 문장 없어서 봐봐. 여기까지 풀어주세요. elderly woman 내가 푼 거 있잖아, 여기. 이렇게 풀렸다고 돼 있잖아요. You know, you see this is really clicked, right? 이거 clicked 했다고 나왔잖아요. 왜냐면 내가 푼 거는 표시가 안 난다. 이거는 안 풀었어요. She was not the only blank of the one long proposed legend, but she was a blank who finally got the bill onto this. She's not just actually, you know, a proponent. She's not just actually a proponent, she's what? Almost like catalyst. Catalyst. 이 사람 때문에 거의 빨리 됐어. She was really like, sie war ein Katalysator, wirklich zu beschleunigen alle Prozesse. Sie war eine Schwung zu treiben. Sie war eine Treibstoffe, zu wirklich machen. Sie macht eine große Beitrag zu machen, diese gesetzliche Entwürfe als ein adoptiertes Gesetz. Ja. Ja, sie wirklich, Ili Sager, noch nicht aktuell adoptiertes Gesetz, aber sie war sie machte eine größte Beitrag, die größte Beitrag zu beschleunigen diese Prozesse bei Vorlegung der Entwürfe, ja, Vorlegung des Vorschlages auf dem Legislaturagenda. Ja, sie wirklich hatte sie hatte gemacht die größte Beitrag vorzulegen, diese Entwürfe vor den Legislaturagenda. Ja, that's really it. Yeah, proponent and catalyst, right? I have explained it. I really had done it, right? I'm not lying. So you know what that means, you know, she does not just a mere supporter. What does that mean? Even actually, this long proposal means, you know, I can actually say in German, sie war nicht nur ein Unterstützer der dieser sehr langfristiger vorgeschlagenen Legislationen, aber sie war eine große Katalysator, die weil sie war eine große Treibstoff zu beschleunigen dieses Verfahren, zu machen zu liegen diese Entwürfe an den Legislaturagenda. Dann diese Entwürfe wahrscheinlich überlegt werden. Ja, überlegt werden meinte dieses Verfahren würde genommen und während dieser Legislaturperiode dieses Verfahren wirklich machte eine Überlegung dafür. Das ist da. Wirklich, I really actually solved it really quickly. I'm not lying. I'm hammernd op provokeer. Oh. Because he more concentrates on the 19th century McLaughlin first overlooks earlier sources of influence, such as 18th century white resident traders and never those of blank. The relative impact of missionaries of the 1920s in contributing to both the acculturation and resistance to Winnemong Cherokee. However, Laughlin is a blank in organizing the culture and all impressive rather than blank. He hasn't made a significant contribution to understanding how Cherokee culture changed while retaining its original identity after the call. No, my understanding is fine. Obscuring이네. Overlook 했으니까. 이유도 있어요. Overlook 때문에요. Keyword은 overlook이고. 여기서는 잘했다는 뜻이야. 이거랑 반대가 되니까. However, the culture is an ongoing process rather than ongoing이랑 반대가 되니까 ongoing의 반대는 static entity. changed가 돼야 되잖아, 그치? 정답 알겠지? 나는 왜 내가 80점인지 진짜 모르겠다. Because her work concentrated on the 19th century overlooks. Overlooks means, so that means he ignore, right? Not really enunciate, rectify. And however, 여기서는 이거랑 반대되니까 Macklin is correct in recognizing that culture is an ongoing process. Ongoing means it's really the opposite of static, right? And that's really it. So change, that's a change. It's really the opposite. It's ongoing, right? Change. McLaughlin, ja, unglücklich McLaughlin wirklich übersieht ehemaliger Quelle des Einflusses sowie eine 18. Jahrhundert weiser Einwohnerhandlers und Nachbarins und Nachbarn, weil sein Wirken auf dem 1900er Jahrzehnt konzentrierte, ja, aber deswegen, wegen dieser einer niedrigen Schätzung, einer relative wirkungsvoll Einflüsse darauf bei den Missionären von 1820 würde ein bisschen Einwischen nicht voll erklärt würden. Aber ganz wahrscheinlich diese Missionäre haben immer noch gemacht einen großen Beitrag zu einer Akkulturation. Das meinte eine kulturelle Entwicklung und Resistenz also Widerstand gegen diese weißen Missionäre zwischen Cherokee, amerikanische Ureinwohnerin und Ureinwohner. Aber McLaughlin ist ganz korrekt heutige im Angesicht der Anerkennung, dass Kultur ein weiterer entwickelnder Prozess stattdessen eine verstopfte Verkörperung und machte eine großartige Beitrag oder er hatte beigetragen zu unserer Verständnis an sehr wichtig unser Verständnis an wie Cherokee-Kultur wahrscheinlich changiert hatte während dieser Situation. Mittlerweile diese Cherokee-Leute, sie wirklich sie haben gehalten ihre eigene Identität und konfrontierte diese weise Missionär. Diese weise Missionär würde ein bisschen zweischneidiger. Einerseits, sie war eine sehr hilfreiche Leute, die eine Kultur ihm geschenkt haben. Aber auf der anderen Seite sie wirklich ruinierte diese Traditionen und Identität. Deswegen diese Cherokee-Leute einen Kampf dagegen geführt haben. Nein, ist das so? Ja. AFG. 야, 됐죠? 이제 그만할게요. 그렇게 안 지워?